So welcome everyone to Grow with GoGo. Today we're having our strength training session and we're so happy you're here. We've been so happy every week when we've had new people joining and when we've seen familiar faces. And it's been really lovely to get to know you all and get to see you moving and, trying something new, and in some cases revisiting something you used to do and regaining strength. Today's event is the last one that we have scheduled right now for this series, but hopefully it won't be the last time that we get to connect like this. We're always looking for more ways to add things to your life, add value, add events that you hopefully have been looking forward to. So please make sure you fill out our survey at the end, because we want to hear from you. We want this to work for you. So looking forward to your feedback there. And obviously, you know what GoGo is all about because you found us, but we, with just a phone call to 855-464-6872, you can access all of these services: rides, meals, groceries, medication delivery, home services. And with these events, we're just trying to see if something that's a little more fun, a little less of a necessary thing, and more of like a feel-good, nourishing thing in your day. So I'm Cassie. I work for GoGo. We are joined by Adra, who's been our fearless leader throughout the entire series. And she's been running both the yoga and strength training classes for us. So grateful to have you. And yeah, so let's get started.
Hi, everyone. Good to see you. Some familiar and even some new faces today. So glad you're joining for our last session. Does anybody remember our move? So if you were in yoga last week, what was our move of the week?
And the first one to get it is going to get $10 in GoGo credits. So
burpees? No, it was not burpees. The week before, though, we did plank. So you can either put it in the chat or you can unmute yourself and share what was the move. It was yoga last week. So what was the yoga move?
Shoulder rolls.
That has been a yoga move in the past. That was not last week's. Good guess. Very good guess. Any other? You can guess. If you don't remember, keep guessing. Forward. Yes. Yes. Tia, yeah. That's correct. The figure 4 stretch.
Awesome. Okay, Tia. Good job. You're the winner. We're going to make a note on your account and look out for an email about your credits, $10 in GoGo credits.
Nice. Thanks for playing, everyone. All right. Well, with that, we'll start our strength training class. You'll need a chair, as usual, and then a set of weights. You can have light weights, or if you don't have weights, you could grab cans, water bottles, or nothing at all. We'll just be moving around, so it's okay if you don't have anything to hold. All right. So before we grab those weights, we'll go ahead and just find a nice standing position. Just shake it off, shake out your arms, shake out your legs, just letting go of any unnecessary tension. And then go ahead and plant those feet down. We'll inhale, reach those arms out to the side and then up towards the ceiling. Reach as high as you can. Maybe stretch one arm up a little bit more, and then the other. And just a few times here, alternating, reaching one arm and the other. And then lowering those arms down. We'll do a little spinal movement now. So you'll inhale, open up the arms and lift the chest. Tailbone goes back. So you're stretching the front of the body like you're doing a back bend. And then exhale, round your back and turn your hands in. Bring the backs of the hands to touch. Stretching your back body. So we inhale, open up the arms, stretch the front of the body. And exhale, closing the arms, stretch the back body. Keep going, couple more times. Moving the spine and the shoulders. And then making your way back to center. Go ahead and take your fingertips to your shoulders, elbows out to the side. Bend your knees and keep your lower body stable. We'll twist just the upper butt. So finding some rotation in the spine. Just want to make sure the spine is warm before we start adding weights. And just remembering, as always, if you ever need to skip anything or you want to add something, you're absolutely welcome to do that. All right, and then coming back to center, releasing those arms. We're going to go right into some air squats. You might choose to do this right in front of your chair, so just standing in front of the chair, just so you have that support behind you, just in case. You don't have to, though. So you'll inhale, bend your knees, reach your arms forward, lower your hips, maybe tap the chair or just be above the chair, and then standing up on the exhale. So we inhale, bend the knees, arms can reach forward, hips go back, and then standing up. So keep going. Inhale on the way down. Exhale on the way up. Let's do 2 more. And then next time on your way down, you're going to go all the way down to sit. So if you're not in front of the chair, you can just go ahead and go find your chair and then make your way to sit in the chair. From here, we're moving into our ankles. Let's do some heel lifts. So balls of the feet stay down, lifting one heel and then the other. So warming up those ankles. Noticing what muscles you're feeling here. Maybe you feel your calves working. All right. And then letting those heels go. And then we'll add some marching now. So the whole foot lifts off the ground instead of just the heel, if possible. You're still sitting nice and tall. And then letting that go. Leaning forward, go ahead and interlace your fingers and lift one knee up. We're just going to warm up our ankles a little bit more. Go ahead and circle your ankle. Once you've lifted your leg up, circling. And then circle the other way. Releasing the leg. We'll switch sides. So holding onto your left knee or shin, lift the leg up, circle the ankle. And other direction. Great. Releasing the feet and go ahead and do a couple shoulder rolls forward. And then shoulder rolls back, other direction. And then letting those shoulders relax, and we'll grab our weights. I recommend that you come to stand with the weights. If that's not comfortable, you can definitely sit. We'll do our upper body first here, our arms first. So grabbing those weights or water bottles, whatever you have, either standing or sitting, palms face forward, you're going to start to do some bicep curls. So just starting with some simple bicep curls. And again, if you don't have weights, that's okay. You can move the arms in this motion. You might imagine that you're moving through water or mud, something sticky, giving yourself some resistance. You can go as fast or as slow as you'd like. Slower tends to be harder. Let's do a couple more. Feeling free to take breaks whenever you need. Great. All right, next time your elbows are bent, pause, and then turn your palms to face, instead of facing each other, the arms face forward or the fingers face forward. So we're rotating out, like creating a W with your arms. We'll stretch those arms up to the ceiling, reaching tall, and then bend those elbows back to your W shape. So keep going here. I'm just going to turn to show you something. We want to make sure that we're moving just the arms up and down, and it's not, so I'm going to show you what not to do. It's not a back bend, so we're not moving our spine to lift the arms up. We're using our arms. So the torso stays still, the rib cage stays still as you do this. And again, this can be quite tiring, so if you get tired, take a break. You can always shake it out, put down the weights for a moment, and then join us back in. We'll do a few more. And then go ahead and release. Let that go. Shake it off. And now we'll do some arm reaches out to the side. This gets quite heavy, so sometimes it's just better to do no weight. So just feel free to change that if you need. Arms reach out into a T position and then slowly lower down. Out to a T position and back down. You can bring those arms a little bit forward instead of straight out to the side if that feels better on the body. So just making sure whatever you're doing, it feels safe. Great, let's lower those arms down, releasing, relaxing. We're going to do all three of those exercises again. So we're back to our bicep curls, so palms facing forward. We'll bend those elbows, hands to the shoulders, and then back down. Try to keep the position of your elbows in space still. So yes, you're bending and straightening the elbows, but the elbow stays alongside the body. It's not swinging forward. Right, so the upper arm is not moving. The upper arm is nice and still. Just a few more. Everyone looks great. And then relax those arms just for a moment. You can shake it off a little. Okay, now we have those shoulder presses. At any point, if you need to, just drop those weights. You can do the movements without the weights. Create that W shape with your arms. Palms are facing forward. We're pressing the arms up to the ceiling and back down. It's okay if you can't straighten all the way. And same thing here, your core is engaged and you're trying to prevent the spine from moving. So the spine is still. You also have the option to alternate lifting one arm and then the other if that feels better for you. Being nice to your shoulders, making sure that it's pain-free. A couple more times. And then lower those arms down. Shake it off. We have one more exercise in that little series. The arms go out to the side. So if you need to get rid of the weights, totally fine. Arms out into a T and then back down. Seeing if when you lower down, can you lower with control so that it's not a drop. If you lower with control, you're working your muscles even more. Few more times. Great, and then release. Let's put those weights to the side, and maybe putting it on a table or just somewhere that you feel comfortable putting them. Give your arms a break, shake them off again. And then we'll move to our lower body. We're going to have a chair nearby for balance, but we're going into squats first, so you can decide whether you really want the chair. We're going into semi-wide squats, so toes are going to be slightly out. Feet are about shoulder width or slightly wider, so pretty wide squats today here. And we'll bend our knees, hips go back, and then come back up. Spine is long. You can let your torso lean forward as your hips go back. Great, and the next time you're up, pause. So those are squats. Now we're going to do plies, which means that our shoulders are going to stay over our hips. So instead of letting the torso lean forward, we're going to let our torso stay up and down. Sometimes it helps to turn your toes out wider for this. So toes can turn out wider. Your knee bend might be smaller. You're bending your knees and see how the head is staying over the shoulders over the pelvis, and back up. So doing your plies now. So different sensation here. Not quite the same muscles. Notice what you feel here. That's different than when you do the squats with your hips back. Next time your legs are straight, pause. Go ahead and turn those toes to face forward and then heel toe your feet towards each other. Now we're going into a hip hinge. So what's happening here is we're going to move our pelvis and our spine over our thighs. So the spine stays still, and you're going to let your torso lean forward, pelvis rolls over the thigh bones, hinging until your torso is close to parallel to the earth. But notice that the spine shape is not rounded, and then coming back up. So legs stay straight if possible. We lean forward, hinging at the hips. So it's that pelvis rolling over your thighs, and then back up. Couple more times. That's our third exercise in this set. Noticing that you probably feel a stretch more than strengthening during this. All right, next time you're up, go ahead and stay up. You can grab your weights. If you happen to have slightly heavier weights, you can use those as well or instead, because it's for our squats, plies, and hinges. But the weights are there just to add a little extra oomph. So regular squats first. So feet are facing forward or toes are facing forward. Or slightly out. Feet are shoulder width apart. We're going into our slightly wide squats here. So you bend those knees, hips go back and up. Weights can just rest on those legs, or they can come in front of the body here. The regular wide squat, noticing how it's maybe different the second time around, whether or not you have weights. Sometimes a little more challenging just because you've already worked these muscles. Can you allow those knees to track along that same line as your feet? So don't let those knees knock in. All right, next time you're up, stay up. And then we're going into our plies. So again, that's when the shoulders stay over the hips, so there's no lean forward. It sometimes helps to turn those feet further out. So you're rotating your thighs and your feet outward, so the knees and toes are facing slightly out. And then we bend and straighten. So again, the difference between a plie and a squat is that in the plie, your shoulders are staying over your pelvis, versus the squat, the hips go back. Two or three more. Great. And then bring those feet back towards each other, and we'll do our deadlift or our hinge. So legs are going to stay straight for this variation. Arms and weights are forward if you're holding the weights. If you're not using weights, no problem. Shoulder blades stay attached to the back, so we're not rounding those shoulders forward. We're hinging forward. Again, the movement is that pelvis over your thigh bones. The spine, it's moving its position in space, but it's not actually moving. The joints of the spine are staying the same the whole time. Up and down. So usually we do this with much heavier weights for a lot of strength training, but it's definitely appropriate and good to do this with lighter weight as well. Feeling that stretch in the hamstrings, and then those hamstrings have to work to help pull you back up. You might also feel this in your back a little bit, and that's okay. So there's nothing wrong with feeling things in your back. You don't want it to be painful, but sensation in your back is okay. A couple more times. Next time you're lifted up, we'll stay up, shake it off. Now we're going into sort of the back body. So you're going to need your chair. We're going to use the chair for support of our arms or our hands. So you can place, you only need one weight. So you can place one weight wherever you'd like. And you'll hinge forward. So we've already warmed up this hinging position. You'll hinge forward and place your right hand on your chair. So right hand's on the chair, you're hinging forward. You'll let your left arm hang off of the chair with the weight if you'd like to use the weight. Spine is long, so there's no rounding here in the back if you can avoid it. We're bending the elbow, squeezing the shoulder blade, reaching the elbow to the ceiling, and then lowering down. This is also an opportunity if you're feeling like when you do this, you're not getting enough work. You can always grab both your weights and do the shoulder squeezes as well. So you have options. If you need to, you can bend those knees slightly. We're working those muscles between the shoulder blades. So you should feel sort of middle back-ish area. You might also feel some muscles under the armpit working. All right, and then letting that go, putting the weights down for a moment, lifting yourself up, shake it off. And then we'll go to the second side. So same thing, you can use one weight, or if you're feeling like it, you can use both weights. Now, left hand is on the chair, right arm is hanging, spine is long. We're bending the elbow, squeezing the shoulder blade, and then lowering the arm down. So the elbow bends, the shoulder blade squeezes, elbow reaches towards the sky, the ceiling, and then arm lowers. Keep going. Great, and then letting it go, coming up, shaking it off. Okay, next exercise here, you need just one weight. And we're doing our triceps. So we're getting back into that same position, but it's a different exercise. So you're hinging forward, right hand is on the chair, left arm can dangle for a moment, And then you'll bend your left elbow so that the elbow is in line with the torso. You're going to keep that upper arm where it is. So that left elbow will stay by the upper body. And then you're straightening your arm so that the arm goes back behind you or the hand goes back behind you. And then bend the elbow. So the movement here is just the bending and the straightening of the elbow. What often happens is that the elbow starts to drop down and then you're not actually going to feel the muscles of the triceps, so at the back of the arm, unless your elbow is pretty high. So as best you can, you're keeping that elbow torso height or a little higher. Shoulders are away from the ears as you straighten and bend that arm. One or two more. And then letting that go, hand comes down, lifts the torso, shake it off. And we'll go to the second side. So finding your weight now in the right hand, we're hinging forward again, left hand to the chair. Right elbow bends. Again, the elbow stays high. It doesn't move around as you straighten and bend that right arm. So the upper arm stays relatively lifted. Your core is engaged a little bit here. Your supporting arm might also feel like it's working a little. But we're mostly focusing on the muscles in the back of that right arm. And then releasing, letting those weights go, shake it off. We're not going to do those again because I want us to have some time to do a little bit more leg work. So coming to behind your chair or to a wall, so just anywhere where you have support. We're moving back to our legs, so give those arms a break. We're going into some heel lifts. So toes stay down, we lift up onto our tippy toes, so heels come up, and then heels come back down. Up and down. And then heels come down, staying down. We're going into our hamstrings. So we've done this the last couple of weeks. See how it feels today. You're balancing on your left leg. You're bending your right knee. Right foot goes behind you. Watch that your knees are in line so that right knee is just next to the left knee. And then you're going to continue to slowly bend that right knee. Your right foot can be flexed, reaching your heel towards your glutes and reaching as firmly as you can. So you're trying as hard as you can to pull the heel towards your glutes without changing the shape of your spine or the position of your pelvis. So your pelvis stays still. You can even place your hands there if you don't need to hold on for balance to make sure that's not moving as you move your legs. So then go ahead and lower the leg. Maybe stand, lower the foot all the way down. Feel where you're positioned. Keep that position with your spine. So maybe one hand on the chair. Let's take our other hand behind the back. Make sure your pelvis, so that hard bone in your back at the base of your spine, make sure that doesn't move as you bend your right knee, pulling that right heel back, making sure it doesn't start to tip forward or move away from your hand, as well as making sure that right knee stays next to the left knee. Good. And then lower the foot down and we'll try the other side. So maybe switch hands, left hand behind the back, feeling your sacrum. So it's this bone at the end of your spine, but you're not quite on the glute tissue. So you're not quite on your bum, you're just a little above it. That Feel that and feel where your hand is positioned on that. Don't let that bone move at all. As you balance on your right leg, bending your left knee. Left heel comes towards your glutes. Watch that your left knee is next to the right knee, that it doesn't start to splay out to the side. You're trying as hard as you can without causing pain to pull the heel towards your glutes without changing that position of your pelvis. Lower it down. We'll try that one more time on that second side. Pelvis stays still, spine stays still. Left knee stays next to the right as you bend your left knee and pull your heel towards your glute. Pulling again as hard as you can. Also watching that your knee doesn't go out to the side. And release, shake it off. All right, from here, holding onto your chair, let's step the right foot back behind us, making maybe a foot or two width. If you can do two, that's great. If not, make it more narrow. And then we're bending both of our knees. So we're going into a lunge here. So both knees bend. Toes and knees are tracking straight forward. Our shoulders are over our pelvis. And then we come back up. We bend and straighten. Couple more times here. Next time your knees are bent, go ahead and pause. Doesn't matter how low you go. Do little pulses down and up. Okay. And then go ahead and step forward. Back foot meets the front. And we switch sides. So left leg goes back, foot or two back behind you, whatever you can do. And then we bend both knees. Your back heel lifts, all 10 toes face forward, your knees are tracking forward. We bend and straighten. Next time your knees are bent, we pause, little pulses. Let that go. Stepping your foot forward for a moment, shake it off. And then we're stretching out. Walk your feet back. Arms on your chair, you're creating an upside down L position with your body. So a nice stretch here for your back, for your arms, for your legs, your shoulders. And then lifting yourself back up. Going to move to some core work. So seated core work. I'm going to face sideways so you can see me. You can just face forward towards the camera. So making your way to sit towards the front edge of your chair. So you have plenty of room behind you. We're going to grab onto opposite elbows or cross your arms in front of you. So whatever feels comfortable here. Your rib cage is soft, so you're not poking your ribs forward. Your spine is long and neutral. We inhale, lean back. Maybe you touch your back rest, maybe not, just depends. And then using your core, exhale, sit up. So the further away you are from the back rest, the harder it will be. Inhale, leaning back. Exhale, sit up. So keep going here. Really exhaling on the sit up. Helps get your core to engage a little bit better. Let's do 2 more. And the next time you're sitting up, stay up. Let's twist the spine. Both hands go either one side of the body onto your chair or onto your leg. Just a little twist, yeah. And then we'll twist the other way. So rotate your spine, hands go over to the other side, onto your leg or onto your chair or both. And then back to center. Our last exercise, we're going to do a combo of our core with squats. So you're sitting at the edge of your chair, wherever's comfortable. You're going to do that same movement. So we inhale, lean back. Exhale, sit up, and then come all the way up off the chair. Slowly lowering down. And then repeat. So we lean back, do your sit up. Exhale as you sit up. Come all the way up to stand. And back down. So we're doing a squat sit up. I'll say it one more time and then I'll let you go on your own. We lean back, touch the back of the chair. We lean forward, doing the sit up. Continue to lean forward to lift your hips up, to stand up off the chair, and then rebend the knees to lower it down. Continue a couple more times at your own pace. If you only want to do one portion of the exercise, that's fine too. Maybe you just want to do the squats. Maybe you just want to do the sit-ups. That's fine. Listen to your body. A few more times. Maybe one more. And the next time you're sitting down, you'll stay down. And then we'll get nice and comfy in our chair just for a minute or two. So you can lean yourself back into your backrest if you'd like, or stay forward. Planting those hands, letting them rest on your thighs and your lap. And then either close the eyes or just let your gaze drop down to the ground. Take a few moments to catch your breath. So feel your breath flowing in and out of the body. Let the muscles of the face and the jaw relax. And then from this space, take a moment to think of one thing you're grateful for. Whatever that is, doesn't matter. It could be a plant, it could be a person, it could be a thing. And just let that sense of gratitude fill the body. And see if you can allow that gratitude to flow further into the body, for gratitude for your moving body, for the fact that you're able to show up, move your body, take care of your mind, to be a part of this community. And let's take a deep inhale together, fill up. And exhale, let it go. One more time, deep inhale, fill your lungs. And exhale, let it out. And as you're ready, you can open up those eyes. Thank you, everyone, so much for being here. It's been a fun couple of months with you. So as Cassie said at the beginning, this is our last session, at least for now. And I'd love for us to take some time and reflect on the last couple of months, especially if you've been here for several sessions, or even if this has been your first session. So I'd love to hear maybe one thing that you've learned over the last 3 months, or one big takeaway, or if this is your first time, what one thing did you learn today? Thanks, Tia. I'm glad you enjoy classes. I think we're just trying to see if we're going to get more people to join us for class, figure out what works well. So it's goodbye for now. Hopefully not forever. And you have all the recordings as well on YouTube.
Yep. When we know that a bunch of you have gone and watched the videos on YouTube if you miss a class. So it seems like that's a place where a lot of people are visiting, just to replay the steps.
So any other things, anything you've learned over the last couple of months, or anything that's changed in your body that you feel, oh, I feel a little stronger in my legs, or I feel like my balance has improved?
I really like the sit down, stand up exercise we did today.
Awesome. Good. It's very functional. We have to sit and stand all the time.
All the time, yes. It helps keep your legs strong. I've
That's
enjoyed
awesome.
these classes very much, and I'm sorry you're not gonna. I hope you will pick them up again.
We hope so too.
So
Thanks
awesome.
for sharing that, Lynn.
And that's a great thing to point out, Lynn, is that we can incorporate our exercise throughout the day, right? So every time you're in a chair, oh, maybe I'll just do a few extra sit to stands to feel those muscles working.
Yes, and I do keep them on my computer and go back and do them other times during the week also.
Oh, wonderful.
So I appreciate that very much.
That's great, Lynn. I really like that point, Adra, because I think sometimes working out feels like something you have to plan and put on your schedule and prepare for. But the idea of like, okay, yeah, if this is a movement I do often, I can just get up a couple times right now sitting, and it doesn't have to be a production, right?
Yes.
I don't have to stress about it. I can just work it into my day. So I love that.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Very good point. And I've enjoyed both of you girls too very much.
Oh, thank you, Lynn. We've enjoyed you. Thanks for coming. And oh, sorry.
Oh, I was going to just ask, does anyone else want to share anything they've learned or experienced over the last session or a few weeks? Susan, it looked like maybe you tried to unmute yourself. I'm not sure. We can't hear you though, but there we go. Oh.
There you are.
Okay. And I'm sorry, going on recently now. but I will incorporate exercises in my daily routine. And I haven't had the stretches stuff really helping it.
I don't know if it was just on my end, but it was a little bit tricky to hear you, Susan. I don't think it's your fault. It might just be the internet connection. Why don't we try it?
So.
Yeah, why don't we try it maybe one more time to see if it's stronger, or you can just chat your question if you're comfortable just sending us the message so we could read it in the chat.
I'll try to speak one more time. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's still happening. I think I made out something.
Okay, I'll chat.
Yeah, I think chat might be better.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're watching the chat. See that question.
And then Tia, I see, learned not to be nonstop on the computer. Yes, that's very, very good to get off the computer, move around, to take care of the body. Really important. And whilst Susan is writing that up, if anyone else wants to type anything in the chat or share, we're open to hearing that.
I know I've seen Sandra join a few times. I always like to see your name pop up. So you don't have to share, just wanted to shout that out. I know you've joined a bunch. And Brian, thank you so much for always joining. I think you're under the name Kimberly, but we know it's Brian. We know by now.
Yeah. Well, I wish you good luck.
Oh, thank you so much, Lynn. And we'll still keep the chat open. So if you're still writing, it was Susan, right? If you're still writing, we're waiting for that. But we hope that regardless of the event schedule, that if you are on Facebook, that could be a place that we can chat. You can meet other customers that way. Obviously, virtually, you can chat, see what some other folks are posting. We post tips about using GoGo, life quotes, fun stuff, little games and things. So it's a place for community. So I hope that you'll join, and you can just go by the email we're going to send has the clickable link. And I think in the chat, you can also click, it says GoGo group, and that'll take you to our group, and you can follow it and then be part of the community that way. Okay.
Looks like also we have Jesselyn. As the first timer, I was so enthusiastic about the capability to actively participate despite my knee replacement and the need for a redo. Well, I'm so happy that you've been able to join and move your body even with a knee replacement. That's awesome that you're moving, taking care of yourself, healing, and getting stronger. You can absolutely get really strong with knee replacements. So I'm happy that you're joining us.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that.
And then thanks, Lynn, that you've enjoyed these sessions.
Wonderful.
Okay. Have we lost?
Yeah, I'm just taking a look here.
I think we've lost Susan.
Yeah, I think so. But I'll follow up with her and by email and make sure we get that feedback. But I'm so happy that you all have spent some of your day today and also months with us doing this weekly. Let's not be strangers. There's all of these different ways we can stay connected. If you ever have a question about GoGo or you need help with your account, you can always call our phone number. You can also email if you're comfortable emailing, support@GoGoGrandparent.com. And we're on every social media account you might be on, and maybe even more. So feel free to find us there, and take care until next time.